William Blake was born on November 28, 1757, in London, England. He came from a simple and poor family, and his early life was quiet and ordinary on the outside, but inside his mind, there was an entire world full of dreams, light, and mystery. From childhood, Blake was different. While other children played games, he stared into the sky and claimed he saw angels sitting in trees and shining lights moving across the clouds. People thought he was strange, some even believed he was mad, but Blake never stopped trusting the visions he saw. These visions later became the foundation of his poetry and paintings. He never went to a regular school. He was educated at home, and later trained in art, where he learned the craft of engraving. This helped him create his own books filled with both pictures and poems, something unique and powerful, even in today's world. Blake believed that every child is born innocent, pure, and full of light. But as we grow, the world tries to take away that purity through strict rules, blind religion, and unjust systems. He wanted to fight against this mental and spiritual control. That's why he wrote two of his most famous books, Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. In Songs of Innocence, he celebrated the beauty of childhood, the peace of nature, and the soft voice of faith. The poem The Lamb shows a gentle world, full of love and innocence. But in Songs of Experience, Blake opened our eyes to the harsh truth of life, suffering, pain, and injustice. In the Tyger, he asked, "Did he who made the lamb make thee?" One of his most powerful works was The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. In it, he challenged the common belief that good and evil are completely opposite. He said both are part of life, and sometimes what we call evil is just misunderstood energy. He believed without pain, we cannot understand peace, without darkness, we cannot appreciate the light. Blake was not afraid to question religion, government, or society. He believed that true freedom comes from the human soul and that imagination is the path to truth. Another work, The Book of Thel, tells the story of a young spirit afraid to enter the world and face pain, a gentle, symbolic poem about fear, life, and the unknown. In Auguries of Innocence, Blake wrote short, powerful lines filled with deep meaning. One famous line says, "To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower," reminding us that the entire universe can be seen in the smallest things if we look with wonder. His most complex and visionary work was Jerusalem, a spiritual and symbolic book that spoke of the soul of England, imagination, and the future of humanity. It was hard to understand, but it showed Blake's dream of a world where spiritual freedom and creativity rule over power and control. His poem Jerusalem later became a symbol of hope in England, sung like a national hymn. Blake's style was deeply symbolic. He used lambs, tigers, children, and fire not just as images, but as messages from a deeper world. He believed that imagination was more real than logic, and that the soul is more important than society's rules. But despite his genius, Blake lived a difficult life. People did not understand his art or his poetry. He was often poor, ignored by the public, and rejected by publishers. Yet, he never gave up. His wife, Catherine, supported him with love and strength. She helped him color his books and stood by him like a true partner in both life and creativity. They had no children, but their bond was deep and unbreakable. Blake died in 1827, almost unknown to the world. But after his death, his work began to rise. People slowly realized that he was not mad, he was ahead of his time. Today, William Blake is remembered as one of the greatest romantic poets in English literature. His poems are taught in schools, his art is shown in museums, and his thoughts are more powerful now than ever before. He believed in freedom, not just freedom of the body, but freedom of the mind and soul. He once said, "What is now proved was once only imagined." These words remind us that great ideas begin as dreams, and even if the world doesn't see your worth today, the future will. William Blake lived poor, but he died rich in vision. He was a light in a dark time, a voice that spoke of truth, beauty, and imagination. He taught us that no matter how small or lost we feel, our inner world, our thoughts, our dreams, can shape the universe, if only we believe in them. Subscribe this channel now.